Well, I'm about to meet an old pal of mine, Bernard Condren, who is now an auctioneer here at Goffs. Bernard, you've been coming here since your teenage years. Bid spotting.
Yes.
How did you go from that to becoming an auctioneer?
I think when you are bid spotting on the floor, you always kind of aspire to end up being an auctioneer. And there have been a lot of bid spotters over the years. Some people, we've had Katie Walsh and Henry de Bromhead here, bid spotting as well. Obviously, they wanted to be trainers and jockeys.
Yeah.
But among the team at Goffs, pretty much everybody started life as a bid spotter, and you aspire to being on the rostrum sometime in the future.
But how do you make the transition from being a bid spotter to an auctioneer? How did you do it?
I think I found I borrowed a lot of tapes, so all the sales are recorded on cassette tape, and I borrowed the tapes, and I used to drive along listening to the tapes in the car, and I would listen to them in my bedroom. You know, so instead of having Oasis or Blur, I would actually have I'd be listening to Nick Nugent, Clive Gardner, Henry Beebe, which I know sounds quite sad, but that's what I was doing. And then off the back of that, you would start practicing yourself.
Yeah.
And you would go into the bathroom because it's echoey with the tiles,
Okay.
so you get the feedback. Now I used to practice and practice so much. I think my mum, I think she was on the brink of getting psychiatric help from me at one stage. But you just basically, you practice and keep practicing.
Yeah. Who'd have thought that Nick Nugent and Henry Beebe would be top of the pops? How did you now look at a catalogue, and how do you go about saying, right, this is how I'm going to sell a particular horse?
I think you pick out the three main selling points. The sire, in this case, we're looking here at pedigree for a No Nay Never filly.
Okay.
He's flying it. So No Nay Never, half sister to a Group 1 winner, Ventura Storm, very strong Shadwell family. You just keep it nice and quick.
Okay.
I mean, if you were auctioning here, if you're selling a Kitten's Joy colt,
Yeah.
John Gosden doesn't need to be told Kitten's Joy is the sire of Roaring
Sure.
Lion. You know, so you don't need to preach to the choir that much. But it's never any harm. Just pick out the one or two main selling points.
So Bernard and I known each other for a while, and there's one time I actually gave Bernard a couple of lessons in broadcasting. So we're going to just flip the roles around, and you're just going to quickly help me how to have a go at being an auctioneer, which I find the most amazing skill. So what's the one thing I need to know before I give it a go?
I think that a good starting point is basically introducing the horse well.
Okay.
Being nice and brief.
Okay.
Most of these horses will have reserves, so you ask for an opening bid, and you try and get going quickly. There's one thing before you go. I mean, a lot of people think they can't really understand the jumble of words. They are just filler words. I mean, they literally are. You know, anywhere bid again and around the ring.
Okay.
It comes out as anywhere bid again and around the ring. You know, so it's not.
So good to
it's
say.
not that hard.
I don't
but
know
as
if
long
I
as
can
you
do
call
it.
the
Right.
numbers correctly.
Okay, let's have a go.
So you give it a go, and here's your gavel.
This makes me feel a little bit more comfortable. Not. Okay, so coming in next, lot number 69. It's a daughter of No Nay Never. No Nay Never, great first season sire. He's had a Group 1 winner recently. 10 Sovereigns won the Middle Park Stakes at Newmarket last week. The Dam Sarawati has also produced a Group 1 winner in Ventura Storm, who was second in the St Ledger a couple of years ago, and the family relate to the likes of Gutafan, a first season sire, Marahel and Mustachio, of course, also a winner at Newmarket last weekend. Who's going to start the bidding off at 100,000? 100,000? Anyone going to give me 100,000? How's that?
Perfect. Now, you were probably a bit long on the intro. We have a rule here. You know, I don't mean to be hard on you. We have a rule here. When the horse comes into the ring, you have the time it takes the horse to do one lap of the ring to introduce
It's good knowledge.
the horse.
See, I didn't realise that.
How we. Well, I didn't tell you, but you know. But essentially, you try and keep the intro as succinct as possible, and just crack on, get selling.
God, my heart was beating so fast doing that. Bernard, there's one thing I want to do before this ends.
Oh, here we go. Tour in the hammer.
Here we go. Sold.